Tonight on CTV News at 5.
I have been given a chance that not everyone is afforded.
Early detection, patients and advocates push to lower the screening age for colorectal cancer.
Thanks to everybody for the 40 years, all the fans, our parents.
Lifetime achievement, the Barra MacNeels are poised to receive a prestigious recognition at this year's ECMAs.
Not done with the system yet. There is still more rain to move through tonight.
Live from the Maritime's News Center, this is CTV News at 5.
Good evening and welcome to CTV News at 5. I'm Maria Panopalis. Thank you for joining us. First at 5 tonight, screen time. The Canadian Cancer Society is calling on provinces and territories to lower the starting age for colorectal cancer screening from 50 to 45. CTV's Hafsa Arif met with Atlantic Canadians who wish they had been screened sooner. Hi there, Hafsa.
Hey, Maria, that's absolutely right. The push comes as more young Canadians are being diagnosed with the disease. As survivors from Atlantic Canada share their stories, they say catching cancer earlier could make all the difference. It's a memory Jackie Foster still carries, being in a hospital just months after losing her mom to cancer. The same kind of room and bed, only this time Foster was the one laying in it.
Just turned 48 at the time. I was active, healthy up until that point, and never would I have thought I would have had cancer. So it was quite a surprise, to say the least.
Foster had been feeling unwell for months. After a few tests, a blockage was revealed in her large intestine. She needed surgery. But it was after the operations she learned her diagnosis, stage 2 colon cancer.
Of course, I was still grieving my mom. I was trying to wrap my head around how that happened. I was trying to wrap my head around the fact that I was just recently diagnosed with cancer. But I thought, I have an opportunity here. I have been given a chance that not everyone is afforded.
Since then, Foster has been a voice, sharing her personal experience and advocating for early screening, something the Canadian Cancer Society is pushing provinces and territories to start doing.
Younger and younger Canadians are being diagnosed with colorectal cancer. Someone under the age of 50 is 2 to 2.5 times more likely to be diagnosed with colorectal cancer compared to other generations.
The organization wants to see screening begin at 45 instead of 50.
I wish I had done it earlier.
For Wiley Butler, that wish comes from experience. After months of symptoms, he was also diagnosed at 48 at stage 3.
Had I done it earlier, I think I would have not run into the complications that I ran into, and consequently, I wouldn't have suffered as much as I did during the first while.
I'm glad to tell you Foster and Butler are doing much better these days. For both survivors, the message is simple. Catching cancer early can make all the difference. Maria?
Oh, isn't that the truth? Thank you so much, Hafsa. CTV's Hafsa Arif for us in the news center. And of course, if you recognize Jackie Foster from our news, she was a reporter here at CTV Atlantic for several years, and we're certainly happy to see her doing much better these days. All right, that brings us to tonight's web poll. We are asking, should the screening age for colorectal cancer be lowered from 50 to 45? These are your options. Yes, more people are being diagnosed in their 40s, or no, we don't have enough medical resources. Your final option, only for those with a higher risk. Just go to ctvnewsatlantic.ca to weigh in and to see the latest poll results. Todd Batt is now standing by at the anchor desk with a look at the headlines. Hi, Todd.
Hi there, Maria. Acadia University has laid off some staff. It says the cap on international students and tuition freezes are taking a toll. Students at the university held a walkout today in protest. They're worried about how this will affect their education. We will get details from the Wolfville School tonight at 6. New Brunswick's premier revealed details of a new contract with the province's doctors. It's worth about $270 million, and Susan Holt says it will improve health care for New Brunswickers and should do quite a bit in attracting new physicians to the province as well. A mystery decoded on Sable Island. A shipwreck discovered on the island 2 years ago is believed to be the remains of a Bermuda vessel that was loaded with rum when it sank during the War of 1812. Well, archaeologists have managed to learn a lot about the vessel, and they will tell us about it on your newscast. Kayla Mitchell now going to talk about current conditions. We had a rather messy start to the day for a lot of us in the Maritimes, and now we're, right back into the cold.
Yeah, this has been an everything and the kitchen sink type of weather system. There's areas of snow, ice pellets, freezing rain, drizzle, and fog, and there were even a few small thunderstorms across parts of the region with it. Today, we're still dealing with it for this evening, and tonight, there are still going to be some areas that change from rain tonight over to a brief period of snow and ice pellets, and certainly the possibility that there could be some fairly widespread icy spots around the Maritimes for the start of the day on Friday. Taking a look at temperatures right now, they're mostly sitting above zero. A few exceptions, especially right up around the northernmost areas of New Brunswick. And temperatures in the Maritimes as we move through tonight will be returning back below the freezing mark. So that means that any wet or slushy surfaces that are around could be turning icy as we move through tonight into Friday. Taking a look at the current wind direction, it's mostly out of the south. It's being sustained in a lot of cases between 10 and 30 kilometers per hour, with some occasional gusts up between 30 and 50 kilometers per hour. On radar and satellite, a lot of cloud cover around the Maritimes, rain, drizzle, and fog present. The back edge of that rain is likely to turn over to a period of some snow and some ice pellets, and that's where that remaining icy mix may come into play for parts of the region moving through tonight into tomorrow. The next round of steadier rain is going to be working its way up from the eastern seaboard of the United States into parts of the south of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and Prince Edward Island as we move through this evening and tonight. And you can see on the back edge of that, where it's present right now in the northeastern U.S., the backside does include some snow and some ice pellets as the colder air begins to move in. We have a few lingering weather warnings in effect, a couple of freezing rain warnings remaining in place for parts of the north of New Brunswick as well as Prince County, Prince Edward Island. We'll have more on what to expect moving into Friday when I'm back later on. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. We will see you a little later on. Right now, though, the Atlantic Outdoor Sports and RV Show returns to the Halifax Exhibition Centre this weekend. CTV's Paul DeWitt takes us to the Exhibition Centre to show us that there really is something for everyone.
Hi, I'm Courtney McKinley. I'm the Trade Show Sales and Event Manager for Darwin Event Group, and I'm here at Halifax Exhibition Centre, and we are super excited for this weekend. It's the Atlantic Outdoor Sports and RV Show. We'll be here Friday and Saturday, 10 a.m. to 8 p.m., and Sunday, 10 a.m. to 5 p.m. When you get here, you'll see all kinds of live entertainment, and we have a duck and goose calling competition. We also have the Wild Game Kitchen with Chef Mike doing all kinds of wild game cooking. We also have brand new vendors and lots of exciting new things happening at our show. The show will have boats, power sports, RVs, side-by-sides. You call it outdoors, we've got it all under one roof at the Atlantic Outdoor Sports and RV Show. We'll also have the International Fly Fishing Film Festival airing every day at 1 p.m. Friday, Saturday, and Sunday.
Hey there, I'm Ian Stewart. I'm going to be here doing a bunch of stunts with fire, chainsaws, going to be juggling chainsaws, and I'm even going to be attempting to break a Guinness World Record live here at the show this weekend. In the past, I broke the record for juggling chainsaws here at this very event, and this year we're going for longest duration juggling 3 flaming torches, which is a record that's never been held by a Canadian. Going to juggle these for longer than anyone's ever done it.
Oh my, it's true. There really is something for everyone. Come for the RVs, stay for the fire juggling. All right, again, that's happening this weekend. Time for a break here on CTV News at 5, but first a preview of our next story.
And I took out my fiddle for to play my love a tune.
I'm Ryan McDonald in Sydney, where one of the Maritime's most famous family bands is celebrating its 40th anniversary this year and is about to get some special recognition. We'll take you on a trip through time with the Barra MacNeels in the story that's coming up.
We're Give to Live. Our mission is to inspire you to live happy and healthy lives through generosity, fitness, and achieving the extraordinary. Join us and support our charities. Get inspired at givetolive.ca and achieve your extraordinary.
Welcome back. So the biggest milestone yet for a national cat and dog rehoming service has been reached. CTV's Emma Convey stopped by to learn about the hundreds of adoptions.
500 pets have now found their second forever home.
When you think about it, it's 1,000 people. It's 500 people trusting us to rehome their beloved pet and 500 choosing to adopt through us.
Angela Rayfuse offers the free unique service for pets of all ages whose senior or terminally ill owner is no longer able to care for them. The Nova Scotia startup has grown into a national nonprofit.
Inspired by my experience adopting my grandfather's cat, Mackenzie, when he passed away. She was 14 years old, grumpy, growly, and needed a home. And at the time, you know, shelters do amazing work, but there just wasn't a service that we could keep her in our home and then find her a second forever home.
Marceline, is it just you and me?
So she created one. My Grandfather's Cat launched May 18th, 2021 on her grandfather's birthday. In their first year, they got 41 cats adopted. Now it's 41 every few months. I'm always gonna wanna make it move. And earlier this month, on March 1st, the 500th adoption.
Tiny's 14 years old. And she is based just outside of Toronto now, but she had lived in Toronto with her senior human, and they were the very best of friends.
When Tiny's owner passed away, the team stepped in to help, covering dental surgery and finding her a new home.
Little cat, she's black and white, she's very sweet, and she's really warming up to her new humans.
Jordan Rogers is one of 50 volunteers. He started with My Grandfather's Cat about a year ago.
To hit 500 adoptions is incredible, especially from where the charity started. And just to witness it along the way and see everything ramp up is incredibly exciting.
In that moment when I was so overwhelmed, I closed my eyes and I pictured 500 cats in a room. And I was in a very tiny room, so it might have felt bigger than it actually was. But it was, yeah, just truly imagining the impact and realizing the impact is just unbelievable.
They welcome everyone to join their community. The more shares and follows, the more pets they can place. Emma Convey, CTV News, Dartmouth.
Oh, excellent. Onward and upward. How amazing.
I hope they can find more and more of them,
Yeah.
some happy homes for sure.
Beautiful work you're doing there for sure. All right, Caitlin Mitchell joins us now. Kind of drizzly and gray.
Yeah.
And not what we've become accustomed to, Caitlin.
No, not certainly how we started off this week with some sunshine and some warmer temperatures. Weather conditions really turned on us here in the Maritimes over the last 24 hours. Parts of the region dealing with some snow, some very icy conditions. A lot of other areas in Nova Scotia, just rain, drizzle, and fog, but that is going to be changing as we make our way through tonight because on the back side of another round of rain, there might be a turnover to some icy conditions even in this province. So we're looking at the scene here midday over the Sydney Boardwalk. I mentioned some of the drizzle and fog that was around. I am going to have more in that forecast, more on what areas may need to watch for some ice Friday morning coming up next.
Welcome back. Caitlin Mitchell joins us. And Caitlin, you know that saying, if you don't like the weather, just wait 5 minutes.
Yeah.
I think that's kind of the situation we're in right now. But I do hear that tomorrow morning we may need to watch our step, huh?
Yes, and this is especially true for parts of the Maritimes that didn't get into the first of the icy weather. You don't want to let your guard down just because it's soggy and foggy out there now. Temperatures are coming down tonight and things could turn a little icy. We're looking out here towards the Halifax harbor front for today. You can see shrouded in that fog. Of course, that is not an uncommon sight for us in the spring season. Spring and fall tend to be some of our foggier seasons around the Maritimes. Looking at our sunrise and sunset times there. Let's take a look at our weather systems map. So barometric pressure has fallen since yesterday as this area of low pressure and a couple of weather fronts with it has approached. This is the same weather system that brought a significant amount of freezing rain from parts of Ontario in through Quebec and into areas of the Maritimes. In some cases, that freezing rain contributing to some power outages. We still have the cold front from this weather system to move past this evening and tonight. And it's along that front that the next round of steadier rain is going to move into the region. And that'll happen as we move through the evening hours, especially for southern areas of New Brunswick, Prince Edward Island, and Nova Scotia. On the backside of that, by the way, through northern areas of New Brunswick already this evening, there is still a lighter mixture of some snow, some ice pellets, and some freezing rain ongoing. As we make our way through this evening and tonight, though, and we'll follow the progress of that next round of rain. You can see it showing up there through that big area of green that stretches up across Nova Scotia, moving through this evening towards midnight. On the back side of it, there's going to be some colder air arriving in the northwest wind, and that is going to be turning some of that rain over to a period of snow and ice pellets, and that's possible for southern areas of New Brunswick, especially around Moncton, the southeast, Prince Edward Island, and all across Nova Scotia. Now that band of rain turning through ice pellets and snow continues to clear out of Nova Scotia as we move through the first part of Friday morning. At that point in time, though, temperatures for the entirety of the Maritimes will have fallen back below zero. So there's kind of a double whammy with this part of the weather system moving through tonight. There may be some slippery, icy accumulations from that mixture of ice pellets and snow. And additionally, with temperatures falling below zero, any standing wet surfaces around the region could also turn icy for the start of the day for tomorrow. So be careful on the roads. There might be some slippery spots. The afternoon conditions will be a mix of sun and cloud. There'll be gusty winds, but it is going to be chilly. Let's talk a little bit more about potential snow and ice pellet amounts to come through this evening and tonight. So there we go, along that band as it moves through. In most cases, maybe around 1 to 5 centimeters of snow and ice pellets. Some pockets of a little bit above the 5 centimeter mark possible around northern and eastern areas of Nova Scotia. Winds in the forecast for tonight and tomorrow become northwest, and that's happening in behind the passage of that cold front. It's that northwest wind that's bringing in the colder air into the backside of that rain. They're going to be gusty tomorrow. We've got from fairly widespread gusts of 30 to 50 kilometers per hour for New Brunswick. In the west of Nova Scotia, Prince Edward Island tomorrow, eastern areas of Nova Scotia, including Cape Breton, will have some peak wind gusts between 40 and 60. Low temperatures in the forecast for tonight. There's a return below the freezing mark in a lot of cases by a few to several degrees. Some of the overnight low temperatures in the north of New Brunswick between -8 and -12. High temperatures tomorrow in the Maritimes will mostly range from a few degrees below to a few degrees above the freezing mark. A little bit colder right up in the north of New Brunswick with Campbellton with a high temperature of around -6. Looking forward to the start of the weekend on Saturday. Guess what? We've got another mixed weather system moving in. Some further snow expected. The snow is expected to turn over to rain for areas of Nova Scotia. How much snow could we see at the start of the weekend? Now, parts of the south and southeast New Brunswick with potential of seeing some totals between around 5 and 15 centimeters. For Prince Edward Island areas of Nova Scotia right now, the snow looks like it will be more limited initially to about 5 to 10 centimeters before there's a turnover to some rain. High temperatures on Saturday will mostly get into range of around 1 to 6 degrees. How about the end of the weekend on Sunday? Well, getting in behind that weather system, it's going to be a mix of sun and cloud. We're going to be seeing some temperatures that are going to be cooling off a little bit. High temperatures on Sunday for New Brunswick will be in the range of around -1 to +3. Charlottetown and Prince Edward Island will be cloudy with a high temperature of around -1. And for Nova Scotia on Sunday, you can see the high temperatures mostly range from slightly below zero for eastern parts of the province around the north shore of Nova Scotia and Sydney and Cape Breton, highs around -1 there. And the remainder of Nova Scotia with some high temperatures between 2 and 5 degrees. So again, the sort of the highlight there is watch for icy spots for tomorrow. Another mix of precipitation for Saturday. Sunday looking okay. Temperatures a little bit cool to chilly. Let's take a look at our weather watcher for tonight. And tonight's weather watcher, oh, this is a nice one. It's coming in from 9-year-old Carly Taylor from Canso, Nova Scotia. Carly has sent us a drawing of being out on a snowy winter day. That is a great-looking snowman there in the background, Carly. Thank you and great job. Weather watchers can come in anytime to CTV Weather Watchers, P.O. Box 1653, Halifax, Nova Scotia, B3J2Z4, or you can email me at kaylin.mitchell@bellmedia.ca. Maria.
Thank you very much, Kaylin. It's time for our final break here on CTV News at 5, but don't go anywhere. Stay with us. We'll be right back to wrap things up. We'll see you on the other side.
Mornings with Aaron and Peter. Join us tomorrow at 8 for a special St. Patrick's edition of Foodie Friday.
And win your share of Aaron and Peter's $10,000 payroll. Join us tomorrow at 8 for that.
Welcome back. So a back alley in a British Columbia neighborhood has become a pet portrait gallery. CTV's Adam Sawatsky has more.
Farley and Dijon.
One of the first things Margaret Halsey did when she moved here
I think I want to paint my steps.
was decorate the front entrance with her dogs.
So I wanted people to enjoy them.
Because pets, she says, help make a house a home.
They sure do.
But years later, Margaret wasn't so sure about the prospect of retiring.
It was kind of a bit of a gray period. So I was kind of feeling a bit like, what am I going to do now?
Well, she'd always spent time making art as a hobby, It wasn't until she walked along this back alley that day
I saw this naked fence, like this one.
that Margaret found a new purpose.
And I knew what I was going to do. I was going to paint dogs on that fence.
So she contacted the fence's owner and offered to paint a portrait of their pet on it, which captured the attention of other people passing.
And so people just kept looking at me and, what are you doing? And the dogs kept coming.
Then cats, too. And the more furry faces she painted for others, the more fulfilled Margaret felt herself.
And so just to come out and be, and just to share with the world, and when you're doing that, you forget you were sad.
And you see the positive possibilities, like when Margaret turned this project into a fundraiser, and donations from her pet portraits raised more than $8,000 in support of training local guide dogs.
We all have a skill, a talent. I think we can all benefit other people by sharing that passion.
And now, more than a decade later,
Everybody keeps asking me, when are you going to have another fence?
this back alley animal art gallery has expanded to include a second fence a block away, a couple books telling the stories behind each portrait, and ultimately connected the community through creativity.
Well, there's lots of things that don't make people happy in the world, and I think a dog can always make someone happy.
Adam Sawatsky, CTV News, New Westminster.
An animal art gallery. I just love that. Thank you, Adam. And if you're wondering where that Barra MacNeels story is, I'm sorry, we did have some technical issues this evening, but I promise we will have it for you tomorrow evening. So tune in and see why the Barra MacNeels are being honored or recognized with a Lifetime Achievement Award. If you're a fan, you of course know why. And again, that honor is coming at the ECMAs this year. All right, let's talk about the weather, because things are going to take a turn here a little bit.
Yeah, not exactly music to a lot of people's ears when it comes to the forecast for tonight. It does start off with more rain, drizzle, and fog, but as temperatures come down, things could turn icy for the start of the day for tomorrow. There will even be some areas that pick up a little bit more of a mixture of some snow and some ice pellets. And then behind that, of course, for the weekend, and we talked about this earlier, it's another mixed weather system arriving with more snow, more rain. The month of March doing what it does in the Maritime region. So more on that coming up CTV News.
Short story is watch your step in the morning when you take that first step out your door. Thanks for watching, everyone. We'll see you tomorrow. The national news is next.